Hamilton Winterfest is not to be missed. Over 60 community-led events ranging from classical concerts to exhibitions. There's workshops, there's classes, there's swing dance, and story time. There's so much more. Joining me right now, thank you so much for being on the couch with me.
My pleasure.
Jeremy Freiburger, who's one of the producers. What a great event. Tell people about it if they don't already know. What can they expect from Winterfest?
Sure. So Winterfest is co-produced with the City of Hamilton and my organization, Cobalt Connects. There are about 70 now events across the city, like you said, a whole range of things. And it's a neat festival because it's this combination of community-produced events, and then we add this thing called the Winterfest Hub, which is this sort of like high-level contemporary art event on the roof of Jackson Square.
Wow. So can people start kind of at one event and work their way around?
Well, there are events, there are multiple events every day of the week from now till the 20th. So you can sort of pick your passion. There are neighborhood events. There are, like you said, things like the AGH or Frostbites. So there are events that you could pick your Saturday and say, I'm going to go to 20 different things this Saturday and check out all sorts of stuff.
Okay, there is a program for us to see what's listed and where all the different events are.
There is,
correct?
yeah. HamiltonWinterfest.ca. We've got the full calendar of events in there, and you can buy your tickets through that website and go to the websites of each event. But it also gives you just a breakdown of which events are free, which events have a cost.
That was my next question.
All that.
Yeah.
So many free events. I would say like 90% of the events across the board are free.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, tell me a little bit about what you brought here.
Yeah,
this is gorgeous.
The Winterfest Hub on the roof of Jackson Square, we've commissioned about 20 different artists to create works, whether it's a mural or sculptural work, interactive LED things. But this is one that I'm really proud of. This is a painting by an Indigenous artist, Mohawk artist from Six Nations, Adam Montour.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I bought this painting about 5 years ago up at Six Nations and fell in love with Adam's work and reached out to him and said, have you ever turned your paintings into sculptures?
Oh.
And he said, absolutely not. And so over the last 5 years, Adam and
guess what?
Yeah, this is what we're going to do. So over the last 5 years, Adam and I have been collaborating with my production team to do just that. So we've pulled the animals out of piles of Adam's paintings and blown them up and turned them into these full-scale, like life-size bear sculpture, life-size loons, deer,
super cool.
And they all glow. They've got different lights in them, so you can actually come and see a woodland painting, but in a physical form.
Wow.
And it's just, it's really indicative of how we took on the commissions this year. We worked with so many different kinds of artists, poets, technology-based artists, Indigenous artists, a whole mix of different things to create a really cool environment on the roof of Jackson Square.
Give me an example of a technology-based artist.
Sure. So another artist, another Indigenous artist, Jason Berg. He's a Cree Métis artist, or Métis artist from Toronto, and he's a designer of all types of things, really known for his fashion work. But he came to the roof of the mall and found this set of trees, and there were 13 gaps, and there are 13 phases of the moon in the Métis calendar.
Oh, that must be beautiful.
So he worked with an artist, Jim Ruxton, who's an electronics engineer, to create these moons that are sound responsive. So as you're listening to the soundtrack that we commissioned for the roof or the bands that are playing, the phases of the moon change.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, and the Woodlands After Dark coloring book, how cute is this?
Yeah, so a local sponsor, the printing house, stepped up to sponsor the festival and to sponsor Adam's piece in particular. And they said, we want to do some other stuff to make it really interactive. So we commissioned.
This is great.
So there's a little poem written by Janet Rogers, who's a poet from Six Nations, about each of the animals in the collection. Kids can grab these for free at the festival, take them home, color them, and learn a little bit of something about Indigenous culture and Indigenous art.
I love this. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy, for joining us. And the toques knit for all the volunteers. We have ourselves a toque. I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.